All righty. Good morning, and we are here. So we have two commissioners that are going to be participating via video conference, Commissioner Fields and Signs. We are going to also be moving forward with live streaming these open meetings, and this will be our practice moving forward. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance and then the Texas Pledge.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, visible, with justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God.
Okay. So first item is our Bingo Advisory Committee. Trey Smith, this is your item.
Thank you and good morning, Commissioners. I would like to report that all sitting members of the Bingo Advisory Committee were in attendance yesterday with our one vacancy still open. LaDonna informed us that there were 5 applicants to apply for the vacant seat on the Bingo Advisory Committee. One applicant was present, Michael Anastasio, who is a member of the VFW 8577 in Commerce Code, introduced himself and told us a little bit about his background in bingo. The BAC will review all applicants and make recommendations at our next meeting, which is 8th of June, next June. Request for waivers of net proceeds is declining as we move away from the COVID restrictions. But waivers will be automatic as long as the governor's order is still in place. We continue to work with LaDonna and the staff to resolve the issue of filing our electronic reports for quarterly reports. We will have some suggestions at the next meeting. We also voted to approve the updated staff language on the gift card rule and are prepared to move forward on this issue. Thanks once again to Commissioner Fields for being present on the fall yesterday. It's always fun to have her there.
Okay. Any other comments before we have commissioner discussions? Okay, commissioners, any thoughts?
Just appreciate the time y'all spent with me earlier this week, getting us up to speed.
Certainly a pleasure to try to help educate anybody.
So we understand that over the next, few days that you'll have completed visiting with all of the commissioners, and we are obviously grateful for your commitment to bingo in the state and working with LaDonna and having Cindy as our lead is also really important to us. So thank you for all that you do, and we look forward to visiting with you in the future.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Okay. Let's see here. Next item is the Minority Business Participation Report. Eric Williams, this is your item.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. For the record, my name is Eric Williams. I'm the coordinator of the Lottery Commission's Historical Underutilized Business Program, or the HUB program. If you're aware, the HUB program is a statewide initiative that provides assistance in contracting opportunities to minority, women, service-disabled, veteran-owned businesses. I'd like to provide a brief update on our program before I speak about Minority Business Participation. At the beginning of each fiscal year, the agency sets its annual internal HUB goals as required by the Comptroller's rules. This year's goals and a set of summary reports were sent to you last fall. As part of our outreach to HUBs, the Lottery Commission has a mentor protege program. This is an ongoing initiative to match HUB vendors with mentor companies who assist with specific business development goals. Currently, the Lottery Commission has one mentor protege relationship in place. The Lottery Commission also conducts an annual hub forum to provide information and networking opportunities to hub vendors. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Lottery Commission was unable to host last year's hub. Copy of the agency's finalized fiscal year 2021 Minority Business Participation Report is included in your notebooks today. This is an annual report which is required by section 466.107 of the State Lottery Act and must be made available to the governor, lieutenant governor, speaker of the House, and members of the legislature. The report documents minority and hub participation in our agency's contracting activity and includes information on the number of licensed retailers. During fiscal year 2021, the agency achieved an overall participation rate of 14.38% in its minority hub contracting activity, which represented a slight decrease from our fiscal year 2020's performance of 14.78%. In addition, of the 19 largest spending state agencies and universities, the Lottery Commission ranked 10th by overall hub percentage. During this reporting period, the agency also had 8,399 minority retailers, which represented 21.04% of the Texas Lottery's total retailer base. I will be happy to answer any questions regarding this report.
Okay, commissioners, any discussion? No. No, thank you.
Yes, sir. This is an action item and the staff recommends your approval of the fiscal year 2020 Minority Business Participation Report. Once the report is approved, we will post it on the agency's website and Mr. Vino will notify the legislative offices of its availability. This concludes my remarks. Thank you.
Okay, Eric, thank you. And before we vote, on behalf of our commissioners, we're incredibly grateful for all of the hard work and effort that you've put in. I know that, with the challenges of COVID, with working with folks remotely and just in person and trying to, gather data and do all of the things that you do, that, to be, encumbered with that unnecessary burden and added difficulty just, highlights the tremendous work that you're doing. So thank you very much on behalf of all of our commissioners. So thank you. So with that, I'll ask for a motion.
I'll move that we that we approve the agency's report.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, good job. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
All righty. Next item is lottery rule proposal. Kyle Wolf, this is your item.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. For the record, I am Kyle Wolf, Assistant General Counsel. Item 4 in your notebooks, which is an action item, contains a proposal to adopt amendments to drawing rules. The amendments up for adoption amend the Lotto, Texas, and Powerball rules to increase the number of consecutive draws a player can purchase in those draw games. The amendments also consolidate similar provisions from 7 city drawing rules into the general drawing rule. Those provisions being consolidated concern a player's verification of numbers and other selections on lottery tickets. These proposed amendments were published in the Texas Register, and we received no public comments. So on this action item, staff is recommending that the commission adopt those amendments. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Okay, any discussion? I'll make a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All righty, passes unanimously. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Item number 5 is report on lottery sales and revenue. Kelly and Robert combined, this is your item.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, just before we get started on this item, I'd like to formally introduce the commission to Kelly Stuckey, our new agency controller. Prior to me naming Kelly as new controller last month, Kelly has served here at the agency with distinction for 16 years as our financial operations manager, and she worked very closely with our former controller, Kathy Pica. In fact, Kelly was one of the first people that Kathy recruited to our agency back in 2005, as Kelly and Kathy worked previously at the Texas Railroad Commission for several years. Kelly stepped right into her new role as controller. She's already backfilled her old position. Her division has not missed a beat since Kathy's departure. Kelly and I have worked very well together for many years, and Kelly's integration into our senior management team has been completely seamless. I'm delighted that Kelly has stepped up to the division director position. Under Kelly's leadership, I'm expecting our office of the controller to continue to be exemplary. So thank you.
Hey, wow, okay, goodness, you have a lot to live up to, but clearly everything that you've done, brought you to this position, and we're incredibly thrilled and excited that you're in the seat that you're in, and know that your, work is only going to continue to blossom and benefit the state. So thank you for your role and desiring to take on this responsibility.
I appreciate yours. Working for Kathy for over 20 years, I definitely miss her every day, but I'm excited to be in the new role.
Wonderful. Well, we're glad to have you. Okay, go ahead.
Commissioners, Kelly's speaking up for the regular controller for the agency. And with me this morning is Commission's Product Manager, Robert Trelawney, and we'll be presenting ourselves through the week ending April 2nd, 2022. So starting on slide 2 and looking at comparative total sales, it's here we note that through this 31-week period, total sales for FY22 are $4,870 million. That's an increase of $126 million, or 2.7% for last fiscal year's sales of $4,681 million. Moving to look at scratch sales for fiscal year 22, reflected there on that second orange bar. We have scratch sales of $3,944 million, and that is a $199 million or 5.3% increase over FY21 scratch sales. And then if you look at those scratch ticket sales as a percent of our total sales, we're looking at 82.1% for this year as compared to 80% last year. And then looking at draw sales, FY22 draw sales are reflected on that second blue bar and are $862 million. And that reflects a $73 million decrease, or a 7.8% under our last year's draw sales of $935 million. And so then moving to the next slide, Robert will provide an overview of detailed sales by name.
Thank you, Kelly. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Before I dive into the details this morning on this slide, I thought it might be beneficial to just make a couple of overarching comments about our sales and where we are at this point in time. So we've been talking about this, but we have had a lack of large jackpots this fiscal year. That obviously impacts the jackpot portion of the portfolio, but large jackpots bring in players into retail, and those are typically casual or peripheral players. And when they come into retail because of a large jackpot, they then get exposed to our other products, our other draw games, and our very prominently displayed scratch products. Well, needless to say, that has not really occurred yet this fiscal year. We did have one decent run-up for Powerball, and that was back in January, but that's pretty much been about it on the jackpot side of the house. In March or April of last year, we had extremely high scratch ticket sales weeks. In fact, the very highest scratch ticket sales week in our history, which is now almost 30 years, occurred a year ago. So the first week of April of 2021 was our very best scratch week in 30 years. So we've had very tough year-over-year comparison weeks. That being said, if you look at our all-time top 20 scratch sales weeks, 5 of those did take place this fiscal year. So our scratch sales are very strong and they're doing very well. They're just not as strong as they were a year ago. So obviously, if we think back to fiscal 21, I mean, we had a severe lack of entertainment options because of the pandemic. Many things were closed. There weren't very many entertainment options. but grocery stores and convenience stores were always open and never closed, and that is the predominant locations where we sell our products. So I guess the big highlight on this is, in many respects, I think the sales that we realized for a lot of our games last fiscal, I think that's going to end up being an anomaly. And I think this year is more of a reset year for us. I think we'll know more about that in the next 5 to 6 months as we wrap up this fiscal year. And so I just wanted to share those comments and thoughts with you. We'll continue to keep you updated, and at the end of the year, we can kind of look at holistically, we'll be able to look at this year compared to previous years. So moving to the slide, there is good. There is good news. We are up $126 million year over year for the entire portfolio. As I just said, Scratch is doing quite well. It's up almost $199 million. Unfortunately, we then lose about $73 million of that because we have a deficit on the draw game side. So if you look up at the top in white, that's the jackpot portion of the portfolio. It's down just over $71 million. You can see the only game that's up is Powerball, just under 38 million, and its add-on feature Power Play is also up. That's because of that large jackpot I mentioned, but everything else is down. You see Mega Millions has not really had strong jackpots at all. So most of the loss that we're experiencing is coming from Mega Millions. You move down to the middle of the slide in blue, that's our daily games. We have 2 games that are up, 2 games that are down. Pick 3 is down just under 3 million. Daily 4 with Fireball is up a little over 1. I think the interesting thing that we're seeing on both Pick 3 and Daily 4 is the base games are down. The add-on feature, our newest add-on feature, Fireball, is up on both of those games. So we've got some shifting of spending going on with players. We may also have players that are shifting their spend from Pick 3 to Daily 4. We don't know exactly, but there's obviously some fluctuations going on there. So the daily games as a whole are down 1.4. So again, in summary, we're doing well. We're up. I think this is a reset year for us, and we'll definitely know more as we get to the end of this fiscal year. And then I just have one other update for you. I've given you all a sample up at the table there. It's our 30th anniversary ticket. So this game actually just started 2 days ago on Monday, April 4th. So a lot of people have spoken to you over the past year about our 30th anniversary, which hits next month at the end of May. But this ticket is kind of the culmination of the year-long activities that have been taking place to celebrate our 30th anniversary. So I thought I would share this with you. It's a very sharp-looking ticket, and the logo has been used on many marketing pieces over this past year as we've kind of celebrated and built up to this milestone. And that is our sales report for today. We're happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay. About lights. Perfect. First question. Okay, commissioners, any comments?
No.
I will tell you that Mark here to my left, in all the years I've known him, I've really never heard him ever, extol the greatness of any of our products, that openly and loudly, but he commented this was the absolute best one that he's seen, and that it reminded him of the state fair, and just he liked how Texas it was, and definitely it.
Yeah, that was the first thing that came to mind is that looks like state fair.
Yeah, so solid, good job.
Great time. So,
Yeah, so yeah, and on the reassessment or just kind of the recalibration, I guess, of what we're going to be doing moving forward, that's good analysis, and we appreciate your insight on that very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, awesome. Well, continue or anything else? Okay, well, thank you again for both of y'all for being here, and we look forward to seeing you at our next meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
I got the next slide.
Do you? Okay.
So commissioners, for this item, I've included in your notebook, agency was transferred to the state through February 28, 2002. And this report reflects approved revenue transfers and allocations to the Foundation School Fund and the Texas Veterans Commission, as well as the allocation of unclaimed prizes for the past. The total accrued revenue transfers to the state amounted to $860.7 million through the end of February. And of that amount, $821.2 million was transferred to the Foundation School Fund. $9.6 million was transferred to the Texas, and the remaining $29.9 million transferred from unclaimed. So this leaves us with a $10.6 million, or 1.3% increase of the Foundation School Fund when compared to the last fiscal year. And then our cumulative transfers from the Foundation School Fund through February are $28.5 billion.
Okay, commissioners, any questions?
No.
None?
No, thank you.
Okay, good job. Again, thank you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you here at our next meeting. Thank you very much. Good job, Kelly. Okay, next item is our internal auditor report. Liz Myers, who is substituting for Darlene Brown.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. For the record, my name is Liz Myers. I'm Director of IT Audit, and I am here today for Darlene Brown. In your materials is a summary of our internal activities for this period. We are wrapping up the charitable bingo reconciliations in addition to conducting the ticket management audit. We plan to begin the confidential data audit next period. We have also completed the agency-wide performance measures audit. Our focus is on the compliance with definitions, the information capture process, validating results, and reporting accuracy. For this audit, we recalculated the 12 key and 6 non-key performance measures for fiscal year 2021 and the first quarter of fiscal year 2022, according to the stated definitions. We noted that generally, the agency prepares and reports their performance measures in a complete, accurate, and timely manner. Several of the charitable bingo measures did not have the supporting data for the fiscal quarters 1 through 3 for FY21. However, we did note a significant improvement in this area with the new leadership. Overall, we rate the internal controls generally effective. This concludes our report for today, and I will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, commissioners, any questions? None. Okay, well, excellent job and great job in stepping in, and thank you for being here. Okay,
Thanks very much.
awesome. Liz, good job. Okay, next is item number 8, our bingo director's report. LaDonna, this is your item.
Morning, Commissioners. For the record, I'm LaDonna Costanzo, Director of Charitable Commission. Information regarding output metrics for CBOD for February and March can be found in materials. In addition to the work detailed in those materials, we're busy working on projects associated with the upcoming move, while also continuing to identify areas for improvement in our procedures and communications, both internally. CBOD staff has reached out to various industry contacts to see what we can do to help increase the percentage of quarterly reports that are filed online. We're also developing a user manual that I believe will be very helpful. I'm grateful for the support that we've received from the BAC and since the last meeting, I hired 3 new employees, 2 auditors for the San Antonio region and a licensed specialist here in Austin. Finally, I plan to start interviews for a new administrative assistant in the next couple of weeks. That person on board. Currently in the process of preparing the CBOD's biennial report of certain financial information as reported by licensed organizations. The report is required under section 2001.060 of the BEA and is due to be delivered to the governor, the lieutenant governor, and the speaker of the House of Representatives, and chairs of the standing committees of both the House and Senate by June 1st. I will have more information about this report and a copy of it for your input materials at the June meeting. And finally, of course, Csc Vacancy. I'll give you a good date on that. We have 5 nominees, and I'm to be ready for you.
Okay.
Any questions?
Okay, commissioners, any questions or discussion? Report, very thorough, so good job. And again, we're grateful for all the work that you're doing. And in the months that you've been here, there's been a definite, positive feel and just a lot of good things happening. So thank you to you and also Cindy, who is participating remotely this morning. So we're grateful for her stewardship with bingo as well. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm having fun.
I would just add that it's noted the improvement that Liz mentioned upon your arrival of the audit results and all. So thank you, and that doesn't go unnoticed.
All right. Good job, LaDonna. All righty. Next is our executive director's report. Gary, this is your item.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Other than what's in your notebook this morning, I had 3 brief items. First is our move to the new George H.W. Bush State Office. We've now got our move date set on Friday, April 29th. All of our staff, except for the claims center, some lottery operations, security staff, mail room, and the draw team, moved over that weekend. The operation is the following one. On Friday, July 8th, our claims center staff, lottery op security, and our mail room then make them. Then on Sunday, July 10th, that's when our draw studio is going to be over. They'll be doing their first live drawings of the facility in the fall. All that aside, the boardroom has been designated for commission meetings in the new facility. It's not going to be occupancy anytime soon. So we anticipate conducting both the June and the August commission meetings here in this room. We still have this building under lease. And we're going to look at the November commission meeting, hopes that the new building will be ready. If it's not, we'll have some contingency plans in place to conduct our meeting at other state facilities. Second item I wanted to comment on this morning has to do with the survey of employee engagement. I sent each of the 5 commissioners executive summaries and comparative data for that survey earlier this week. As a reminder, every 2 years, the agency participates with the University of Texas Institute of Organizational Excellence to survey all of our employees and help us better understand their level of engagement with the mission and the vision of our agency. The survey is commonly performed at most state agencies and university systems in Texas. Participation is key so we can get results that we can rely on. Authors of the survey say that a participation rate by staff of higher than 50% suggests the results are sound, while participation rates less than 30 may indicate problems. Pleased to report that more than 93% of our employees participated in the survey. That's up 4.7% from last year, and that's a new record for participation in our agency. That's a number I would stand up against any agency in the university. An agency's overall score, general rule of thumb is that scores above 350 are desirable, while any score below 300 should be a cause for concern. Our overall agency score was 416, basically the same as last year's score, which was 417. That's an excellent score by any measure. The survey also measures the level of engagement across the entire agency. The authors of the survey say that engaged employees are more present in the workplace and show a greater effort to help. Moderately engaged employees are physically present but put out minimal effort, say the survey authors, while disengaged employees, disinterested in their jobs, may even be actively working against their coworkers. According to nationwide survey data, which is provided by the survey authors, on average, about 30% of employees in organizations are either highly engaged or engaged. About 50% are moderately engaged. About 20% are disengaged. Our agency, 70% of our employees were rated as either highly engaged or engaged, 22% were moderately engaged, and only 8% were categorized as disengaged. While all of our scores across the board were excellent for many years, with the one exception always being the category A, did see the most improvement this year in three particular areas. One is community. That captures the employees' perceptions of relationships between employees and the workplace, including how much they trust and respect each other. Information systems, which captures our employees' perceptions of whether or not their computer and communication system is providing accessible, accurate, and clear information. And then finally, internal communication, which captures our employees' perception of whether communication in the organization is reasonable, it's candid, it's helpful. Now, as I mentioned, the category of pay, once again, brought up all the categories. It even dropped an additional 25 points in this year's survey. We're going to certainly take a look at that, examine the results in more detail. But our early speculation is that the difference in pay between state jobs and the private sector continues to widen, particularly here in Central Texas, where the cost of living continues to be growing and magnifying. But even though pay was our lowest scoring category with a score of 313, even that score was above the level of 300, which again, survey authors say anything under 300 should be a cause for concern. In every other individual category, our agency scored higher than 400. That's quite an accomplishment. So we have a total of 10 divisional units in our organization. We saw improvement in the overall scores from 2 years ago for 7 of the 10. And even for those 3 divisions who did see a slight decrease in their score, all 3 of those divisions still scored above 400, which is outstanding. So in summary, Commissioners, while I'm very pleased with the results, and I would confidently stack our scores up as any other state entity, we will continue to dig into the results to find ways to improve, because there's always. And the last item, Mr. Chairman, I want to talk about involves our agency ombudsman. Back in 2006, the state auditor's office recommended in a workforce management audit that we create an employee ombudsman position that reports directly to the executive director. Responsibilities that include facilitating a confidential and neutral process for resolving employee-related concerns in a very fair and equitable manner. And 2, meeting individually with employees as needed to address issues before they become formal grievances. This ombudsman position is very important because it provides our employees with yet another independent outlet for any concerns that they may have about the workplace. For several years now, we have effectively outsourced ombudsman services via a contract. And a lady by the name of Shirley Colbert had previously had a long and distinguished career in state government. She served us well in that. She's recently retired. We have finalized a new contract for ombudsman services. Rayette Smith Firm. Tell you a little bit about Rayette's background. It's extremely impressive. It includes more than 9 years of experience as Deputy Director of Human Resources at the Attorney General's Office, 8 years of service as an Assistant Commissioner at the Texas Agriculture Department, including serving as their Chief Human Resources Officer, and most recently, almost 5 years of service at the Health and Human Services Commission, serving as Director of HR in an agency with more than 10,000 employees, a position from which Rayette recently retired in April 2020. And from a volunteer perspective, Rayette has served for over 9 years as a volunteer ombudsman for the United States Department of Defense, helping service members and their employees resolve employment issues. So we're delighted to have Rayette on board, all the experience that she brings, and I want to especially give a thank you to Jan Thomas, our HR director, who helped us to recruit Rayette. Without Jan, we wouldn't have been able to find such a highly capable person. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, commissioners, any comments for Gary?
Congratulations on that. Very high. score.
Congratulations. Yes. Great. Thank you. Very thorough.
Yeah, I would just note, given the difficulty it's been to maintain culture and, you know, it's the pandemic and our score is rising is probably even more impressive. Because by all accounts, in other workplaces, probably should have gone down and you went the other way. So well done.
Cindy, any comments?
Good job, Gary.
All right.
This has been kind of a rough couple of years.
It has. So regarding the survey, clearly all of the commissioners are excited by the results and grateful for the collaborative team effort that we have here at, at the lottery. And obviously you're at the helm and, folks are looking to you and all of, everyone working together is how that, these numbers got here. The percentage of participants is what I was most excited by. And, for all of our employees, your voice matters, your participation matters. And I know that all of our commissioners are grateful for the effort that all of you collectively bring to each individual role that you have at the lottery. So thank you for your participation in the survey. Thank you for your commitment to the Texas Lottery. And for those who did not participate, hopefully that we can have that 100% next time we're able to do the survey. But again, we're grateful for your participation. And, in order to manage, you first have to measure. And your participation helps with that measuring here at the lottery and will help make things, better to us all. So thank you to all our employees. And Gary, thank you for your leadership. So next item. Belongs to Bob, who's going to discuss enforcement cases.
Mr. Chairman, for the record, I'm Bob Beer, General Counsel. Item 10 contains 9 lottery cases and 2 bingo cases at Faith and K. In these cases, the commission staff found the licensee violated the lottery and bingo statute. In many of our cases, either the respondent fails to appear at the hearing and receives a fault, or the staff responded to the settlement in the form of an agreed order. And we had both for these type of cases today. As A through F are the non-sufficient fund lottery retailer license revocations. These cases presented the State Office of Administrative Hearings for revocation of retailer license. As the licensee failed to have sufficient funds in the bank account, that were electronic claim commissions. In each case, the licensee failed to appear at the hearing and the judge remanded the case to the commission. Tabs G through I are lottery agreed orders. Tabs J and K are 2 bingo agreed orders. The materials for all of these cases are in your notebooks. Happy to discuss any of those if you have any questions. Otherwise, that concludes my presentation. You may take the fee enforcement orders on a single vote if you like. I'll be happy to answer the questions.
Okay, commissioners, any discussion?
No.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
We got Cindy. Okay,
I'll second.
we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, good job, Bob. Passes unanimously. Okay,
And we do not have any requests for public comment today. I just want to note for the record that Commissioner Fields had a little bit of technical difficulties getting on the sheet at the very beginning of the meeting. I just wanted the record to show the sheet. She wasn't present at the very beginning of the meeting, but she did join us.
yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so with that, all of our business is officially concluded. We're grateful for all who are here in person, those that are participating online. We're grateful for our staff to obviously help make today possible. Those also includes our technical folks who, again, these electronic meetings are going to be part of our protocol moving forward. So thank you to our commissioners who are joining remotely. And with that, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Chairman?